big numbers, not tiny ones. So, first things first, plan, book. Homework is the same as it was Friday. No surprise there because I told you guys that. But no empty boxes, so please make sure that you have that filled in. If you did not turn in your homework on Friday, please make sure that you do that today. True story, I did not grade over the weekend because I knew that I had people that needed to finish their masteries. So you kind of get a free pass. If you get it in today, you will not be dinged for late. And then hey, hi, I don't care if you came in late. I'm making announcements. Thanks. If you still need to finish your mastery, that can happen at AO or extensions or whenever, or potentially at the end of our class today. We'll probably finish the lesson still with time left. So you can either work on homework or whatever else. And this multiplication table, the resource page you're getting, that's to help us with common denominators, to think about those multiples. Now, some of you might be really good at multiples already. You might not need that, but other ones of us like the reminder of how to find those multiples. So if we look at that resource page, sorry, I lost it. If we're looking for like common multiples, let's say of like 4 and 9. Right? Yeah, so we look down the 4 row as far as we think we need to, and we could keep going. We look down the 9 row, and we're looking for what's the lowest number they have in common. None. 36. Now there's nothing all the way down until 4 times 9 and 9 times 4, so they end up just, you got to multiply by each other to find a common denominator. But then we can check, is there anything smaller that's a common denominator?
18.
And there isn't.
Wait, oh.
18 is not over here, right? So since it's missing from the 4 list, I'd have to find it in both lists. So that resource page, I'd put your name on it if I was you, and I would clip it in your binder. I would maybe even put it in a sleeve protector, which I have over. Don't get it now, but at some point later. Yeah, I've got a box over there. Mrs. Goldring has a box in the back of her room. So at some point, I would maybe put that in your sleeve protector, or put it in a sleeve protector. So, guys, we had a conversation last week about this. Why are there people sitting at their desks with no notes out, no anything? Like you're just sitting there doing nothing with an empty desk. I do not need to individually invite you to engage with us. If I need to, tell me, and I'll make sure that it's part of class where I say, "Good morning, Jalen, engage with us." Which I can pick on her because she's like ready to go and awesome and has her papers out, ready to rock. So if we're continuing your notes from Friday, you could just put like the new date for today. So let's imagine if I was continuing notes from Friday, I would already have stuff written, right? Like blah, 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 blah. So I could just off to the side put the new date of 9, what's today, the 10th? Yeah. 9, 10, 18. And then you could just put like notes continued or something like that. Because we're picking up. Now I forget how far we made it Friday, so you guys got to help me. Who took good notes and can tell me where we're at? Jalen, what problem did we get through? You got through 109? Sweet.
We're on
110. So this also shows us how we can use our multiplication table to help us add those up. I want us to see what we remember from last week. So with your group, let's try to work through all of 110. So the first thing you're going to do is look at adding 3 8s and 5 6. Then you're going to look at adding 5 4ths and 7 10ths. Okay, so I think we could probably rock this out in like 3-ish minutes. So I'll try to not say anything whole group for at least 3 minutes. Okay, dive in. Oh, me. So in the spring when we do M-term, I taught a math art class, and that was one of the days we did visual perspective. So 1 vanishing point or 2 vanishing points changes the perspective of how things look. So that everything disappears together. That everything disappears apart.
That's exactly what I asked.
It all depends on your perspective. But we are doing fraction addition. We are not doing math art right now. Why don't I say? Here we go.
Sorry, I had to ask you a question. Did you get the other one?
I'm not sure. I did not break like over the weekend. Sorry, the rain kind of made me unmotivated. It is. Emma, or Chloe. I immediately thought Emma. We have her sister. We have Chloe's older sister. I should hear a lot more talking than I do right now, which is weird for your teacher to tell you, but we should be talking with each other to add up these fractions.
Oh!
Your first objective is 3/8 and 5/6. Your next is 5/4 and 7/10. I'm going to swap screens so I have my notes up here.
Oh no, it's okay. Common denominator.
So the book starts to show us how we can use that multiplication table to work through 3/8 and 5/6. What's your common denominator between 3/8 and 5/6? 24. Now they also found 48, but that's not the lowest common denominator.
24 is better.
So 24 is better because it's smaller. How do I turn 3/8 into a denominator of 24? Scott? Multiply by 3 on top and bottom, right? So we want to show that work. What do I do over here to 5/6 on top and bottom? Sure, Ava? Multiply by how much?
No.
3 doesn't get us to 24. Not 5, that's too far. 4. Guys, please make sure we have this work shown out. You need to show what we are multiplying by. And guys, I will tell you, this is part of our... Okay, so give me your attention for a second, because I realized what I was about to say would get a whole big... So our chapter mastery will be on Friday, because we will be finishing our chapter content on Wednesday and doing review on Thursday. So now to back up and say what I was going to say, this exact skill set will be on your mastery Friday. Okay, so if you're currently not comfortable with it, that's why we're practicing. So then I work vertically. You could work horizontally if you want, but in my brain, it makes more sense for me to copy what this fraction turns into right below it. So 3 times 3 gives me 9. 8 times 3, 24, what I wanted there. Then 5 times 4, 20 over 24. I'm going to make sure that I know that that's a different problem. Now I get 29 over 48, right? Just add across the top, add across the
No,
top.
24.
What's wrong here?
The denominator is
Watch. Now, here's the biggest mistake people make with fractions. Multiplication, you got to do the tops and the bottoms. But addition, once your bottoms are the same, they got to stay the same. But this seems weird to some of us, right? Because now my numerator is bigger than my denominator. Is that okay? It's fine. What kind of fraction is this? Improper. Which, if I wanted to change it to, are you going to convert for me?
Yeah.
Ava, what is it as a mixed number?
1 over 5.
Well, 1 and 5/24. So be careful because we say the whole value and then we say and where we split to the partial. So actually and this, I was not going to get on this soapbox yet, but I'll go ahead and complain about more things to you on this wonderful Monday morning. The word and is often misused in math. Who has ever like heard an announcer or anybody else, like they're announcing something like this, and they say 215.
No!
Wrong! The and is the split between entire values and partial values. So this is 215. But if he wanted to say an and, it'd be 215 and 5/10. So that's why this is 1 and splits between whole values and partial values, 5/24. Okay, so be careful. The and is that split between entire values and partial values. Take 30 more seconds. If you have yet to do this second part here, 5 fourths plus 7
Only
tenths,
30
it's
seconds?
slightly easier. Yeah, it's easier. You only got to change one of them. Common denominator, sorry, never mind. My brain flipped to the one fraction. You got to change both, but it is easier because the denominator is pretty close. Let's get out cards. See who's awake this morning.
I'm not awake, so I would.
Brendan, what is the common denominator between 4 and 10? Wait, why? Wait, or you just want to solve the problem? Okay, well, you're not Brendan. Brendan, what's the common denominator between 4 and 10? Yeah, 40 would work. There's a smaller one, though. 20 would also work. So if I want to turn my 5 fourths into 20ths, what do I multiply my denominator by? 5, and I do the same on top. Again, if you want to use the giant one, you can. Otherwise, just write those numbers in there to the left or to the right. And then 7/10, what I got to multiply by here? Times 2, because the denominator needs a times 2. Now, I would encourage you, if you're at all struggling, just do exactly what I do. Work it vertically. So we're going to drop these values down as they change. 5 times 5 in the numerator, 25 over 20, plus 14 over 20 becomes, Aiden?
Okay, sorry. I didn't have an answer, but
You're good.
I'll say it. 39 over 20.
Do you have a question?
Will equal to 119 over 20.
1 and
Sorry, 1 and
19 over 20. All right, so yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry, but I'm going to pause because I have a question.
You're good. Don't apologize.
I don't get why, like, where did you get the times 2 and times 5 from?
I made it up. Yeah, no, for real. Because I can do whatever I want. So what you're really asking, I think, is why did you do that? Not like how did I like. So the one of the reasons that I did it was just because I felt like it. Now in math, one of the reasons I love math is as long as I follow the rules, I can do anything I want. As long as I follow the rules, which is great because a lot of freedom, not necessarily like creativity, but some people can describe it as creativity. What we have right here is hard to make sense of because they're improper fractions. I'm going to give you another one that'll be easier to make sense of.
Oh, yeah, because I did not understand.
I buy 2 pizzas, and awkwardly, this pizza place has cut my one in 2/3, and my other one into 4ths. Right, so 1/3 of this pizza is mine because, you know, there's 3 kids in my family and I get 1/3 of this. But also because we ordered a second pizza, half of that one's mine. Now, for whatever reason, it's mine. Now, it's either a half or 2/4. I can do whichever fraction. I can do whatever I want. But if I want to talk about these things, we'll just go ahead and count slices and do 2 out of 4. I cannot now say that I have 3 out of 7 slices. So although that's true, that's not really accurate, right? Because this is not how this works. So the reason, exactly. So the reason we have to do this is because this doesn't make sense. I start slicing things. So I say, okay, I'm going to slice this to now have 6 slices. And what can I do over here? Well, I can't make 6, right, of even sizes. I could make 8, but that doesn't really help me. So I go back over here and I say, well, if the 6 slices wasn't really that good of an idea, what if I do this and now make this 12 slices? So sweet, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 out of 12 actually, now that I've sliced it a bunch more. I haven't changed how much pizza I have, right? Now here, I realize, oh, I can make 12 slices here. Sorry for the art being poor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I have 6 out of these 12 slices. Are my slices all the same sizes now? Now that my slices are all the same sizes, I can talk about how much physical pizza I actually have, which is 10. Compared to a single pizza, I have 10 out of 12. But if I was comparing to the entire thing, I really have like 10 out of 24 total slices now. But we're looking at common denominators being like compared to a pizza, like one whole, I got 10 out of 12. 10 twelfths, because each slice is a 12th. I have 10 12 slices. Now, another way that I could say this, Aiden, is I have 10 slices that are each 1/12 of the pizza, and that's the same as 10/12ths.
Well, nah.
Because this is 10 of 1/12. 10 at the size of 1/12 each. Does that kind of make a little bit more sense for why we have to do the denominator? Now, because in multiplication, like let's say I have that third of a pizza, and I say, okay, 1/3 of this pizza is going to get white sauce. Well, thank you, I've practiced. 1/3 of the pizza is going to get white sauce, but half of that 1/3 gets anchovies, right? Because nobody really likes anchovies. So, hold on. I'm not even asking you to do anything right now. Just listen to the story. Aiden asked a great question that got you a bunch of free time without writing anything. So there's my third with white sauce, right? But the question or the problem said half of the third, right? Half of the white sauce area got anchovies. So now I cut half of that third region, and what that actually does is multiply, and it's 1/6. Straight across the top, straight across the bottom. This is multiplication, super easy.
Whoa.
Don't have to change denominators, don't have to do anything fancy. We're not there yet. We're working on addition first because it's harder. Then when we get to multiplication, you'll be like, oh, this is a cinch.
Mathematical.
Ava?
My teacher, she told us that means multiplication.
Yeah, of does mean multiplication. Yep. So if I have like 2 sets of 3 markers, 2 times 3, I actually have 6 markers. Moving on. Now, challenge. We have 5, 6. It's just a little bit harder to see. Green's not quite as dark. 5, 6 plus 3/4 plus 1/5. Your team needs to first figure out a common denominator. Then second, show the work to convert each of these fractions into that denominator. And then third, add them all up, which means I will at least give you 3 minutes. At least. So I'll walk around and see how we're doing. First, choose your common denominator. Use your multiplication table if you need. Second, do the multiplications to make the common denominators. Third, add them all up. Go for it.
Oh my gosh, I get it now. Now that I looked at it,
So Aiden, conceptually, what we're doing is just making every piece the same size.
that was so simple once I looked at it. You're just multiplying 8 times 3. Common denominator 1 and 2 is 24.
Yeah, so it depends if you're trying to analyze the math or analyze the y. But the reason behind the math is just make that bottom number match. Now, you like 24 is the lowest common denominator, but you could use 48, 72. You can use bigger denominators. It just makes your math a bit harder because you get bigger numbers. At a minimum, I should see what I have written up there in blue on your notes. At a minimum, I should see what's in blue up there.
Duh. But that doesn't make sense. You still have to put this together. Find the common denominators, and then there you go. It all makes sense again. No, it doesn't. You have to find a common denominator before you start
Who can give me a common denominator here?
Owie. No, that's
What do we got? What? 60?
Yeah.
So we're hypothesizing the common denominator here will become 60, which means I got to make all of these numbers turn into 60.
Is that just like a free for all again?
What do you mean a free for all?
Like you just pick a number.
So if we look down the columns or across the rows for 6, 4, and 5,
Yeah.
we look for a number that exists in all 3 of those columns.
Oh, because I was looking for like the same number throughout all 3.
No, so we just like if we can find the 60 down the 6, the 4, and the 5 column, it will work.
How do you go from 4 to 6? 4 times 15 is 60.
I was gonna break it up for you and say how can we turn 4 into 40, and then how can we get 20 more? So you need to try to figure out, try to break these things up in your head.
That doesn't work for me.
Ethan, what am I gonna multiply by here for the 5, 6? What is it? 10 on top and bottom. Layla, what about 3/4? What do I multiply by there? 15.
And then
on
what?
top and bottom. And Casey, what do I multiply 1/5 by? Yeah, 12 over 12 on top and bottom. So then we rewrite 50 over 60, 45
So 10
over
times
60,
50 times 12 equals...
and 12 over 60. When we add this all up, Nora, what do we get? Sorry, would you? I can't. 107. Verification. Anyone else get that? Thank you very much. I did not do it in my head. All right. Any questions? Because guys, now we're looking at like many fractions getting put together and sorry, I lost the word from it. We're looking at manipulating, like changing, right? I like to use the word manipulation because a lot of math we just manipulate stuff. We're doing a lot here. What questions are there? You just doing the wave?
No, I thought you were gonna ask what does that do?
Oh no, we don't have to reduce that right now. We don't have to. You can if you want. 80.
It's not really a question, but 107 can also be 147.
That's exactly what Jalen just said too. She said, well, no, she was just saying, like, I was going to give it to you reduced. You said 1 and what?
47 over 60.
If we want to make it back into proper. And actually, this is not a proper fraction. What do we call this? Mixed number. We have a whole number and a proper fraction. Since we have both, it's a mixed number, right? Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, 107 over 60. And then it's 1 and 47 over 60 if we... Questions? I'm waiting here on purpose to see if like anybody just needs time to build up the courage to ask.
No, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Ow, I just found myself.
So notice I skipped some of the CPM like prompting questions. Hey, hold up. I still need your attention. I skipped some of these prompting questions because all they were really getting at was, okay, so if I find the number in the 6th column, does that mean I can use it for everything? No. If I find the number in the 4 column and the 6 column, does it mean I can use it? No, I need to find it in all 3 columns. So if we don't have any questions, then this should be pretty easy at this point. Knock out A through D. I'll give you like a minute each. It's like 4 minutes for this. So we're writing down the original. Guys, this is something I'm struggling with some of you on. You write down the original problem first. Then you go from there. If you don't write down the original problem and you make a mistake in your head, like you're just totally, there's no chance. You gotta write that, copy the original, then do the work. I will use random cards, so please, if you have a question, stick up a hand so I can come help you, because I'm going to use random cards to get answers from people. Now remember, there's a lot of ways to get to Florida. There might be multiple ways to solve this. Actually, let's do for a minute, nobody talks. Let's just try these on our own first. So I'm curious if we might try different strategies. So just try these on your own first. Take like a minute or two, just without talking. Just do them on your own. did different things, do not tell someone they are wrong. Figure out if they just did it differently, but still got essentially the same things. Take another couple minutes at least, talk to each other. Anybody, what's the common denominator for A? 12. Ooh, 12's the lowest, but that doesn't mean it's the only option. Anybody, what's the denominator for B? 21 will work. For C? D? 20.
Wait, for C I got 24 too. Yeah, I only got 24. Yeah.
For C?
Yeah. Because it can be 12. You can.
Now, hey, that doesn't mean you're wrong. Good grace, but you have 24 works.
Really?
12 is just small.
Yeah. Oh. Well, is it
Remember, common denominator versus least common denominator. We do not have to have the least, but you made your work harder. You made the numbers bigger, which is okay. So actually, keep talking with each other. I'm gonna write the work up here real quick, just to save us some time.
Oh, I know what D's denominator is.
Oh yeah. Sorry, no, because I'm flipped around. This is actually the thing that would be up there for the whole screenshot thing. So I actually can't. So I'll scroll back up in just a second.
Oh, I can see it now. I'm good. Well, fun. I like orange. Whoa, orange.
It's amazing how something like using a color I haven't used.
Do pink, do pink.
No, pink's too bright. You can't see it.
Do dark pink. Can we just try it out? I want to see pink. I want to see pink. Wait, can you do
All right. I need some help checking my work because everybody can make mistakes. Nobody's exempt. So, hey, with me just a second because you got to check and see if I did things right. In A, I multiplied by 3's and 2's to get 3/12 and 10/12, making 13/12. If I wanted to make it, now Labiba, what's up? I made a mistake?
Yeah.
In A?
Yeah.
What's my mistake?
It's not 10/12, it's 2/12 because you have to times by 2. So times 2.
Yeah, 3 times 10 is not 13, it's 9. What?
What?
I mean, oh, no.
We're
never mind.
adding, right?
Oh,
Sorry.
So this, no, you're good because your brain is switching back and forth because I just talked about multiplication last one. That multiplies, but then I dropped the work, right? These are my new fractions. So this was just me thinking about, oh, my denominator is going to be 12. That's not my work. That I just kind of left there. So this fraction becomes 3/12. This fraction becomes 10/12. Gets 13/12. I don't really care if it's improper. Leave it improper right now. Totally fine. Does that work? Check out. Let's look at B. We decided the denominator was going to be 21. So we multiply by 3s and then by 7s. Right, 3 over 3, 7 over 7. What are we really multiplying by here? What actual number am I really multiplying by here? Sky? Be careful. It's a big CPM thing that I've told you guys we don't have to use, but I want to make sure we...
A giant one.
Brody?
Big one.
Giant one. Remember this? So guys, give me your eyes up here for a second. We're really multiplying by 1 because 3 over 3 is 1. Right? We're really multiplying by 1 because 7 over 7 is 1. So when we say we're multiplying by 7, like, and some of you guys saying like, oh, just multiply by 2. Well, I want to make sure we're multiplying by 2 over 2 or 3 over 3 or 7 over, like the number over itself. We're really multiplying by 1. Okay, so this becomes 6 21sts, 14 21sts. I think we get 20 21sts. So that would be the accurate way to say this if it's on the bottom. Yeah, it's not 20 21s. 20 21sts. All right, down to C. Check it. I might have made mistakes. Now wait. Casey, why didn't I do anything to the first part of C?
That's a good question. Oh, because it's, you can keep it.
So, what I want you guys to all pay attention to is we don't always have to switch both. A lot of times your brain immediately starts thinking, okay, 24, 48, what if I could use the 12? Make your life easy, don't change it. So then, multiply by 6, and we get as our answer, what is it? 11 12ths, right?
11 12, which not to change into anything.
Yep, doesn't need change at all. And then over here, with the denominator of 20,
29 over 20.
I'll come to you in just a second. 15, 25, 4 more.
Which is also 1 9 1 and 9 20.
Ava.
I have a question for C.
Yeah.
For the 20, isn't it 11? Not. But for C, if you did 20, wouldn't it be 22 over 4?
If you did 20, you mean 24 is the denominator? Yeah. So this is also equal to 22 over 24, because notice you just doubled the top, doubled the bottom. Excuse me. So it's an equivalent fraction, meaning it is the same thing, it just has different numbers. And that was in one of the math notes boxes. If you're at all confused on equivalent fractions still, check out that math notes box. And we practiced that skill last week where it said, like, write this fraction in 3 other ways. And we just essentially, like, doubled, or whatever. Like, any way that you can multiply or divide, it's the same thing. You guys have your book. Like, that's the point of your book. Your book is your resource.
No, I mean in 6th grade. We glued our math.
Oh. Yeah, I don't want you guys carrying around a ton of stuff. I'd rather you just use
And
your
it's a
book.
waste of paper.
Yes. I think I would just like us to spend a little bit of time working on homework.
Yes, I already finished it.
So here's what's up. The rest of the week, if I grab my plan book, right? We all use plan books to stay organized. Tomorrow, let's everyone get out your plan book. Let's just fill this in for the week. Yeah, let's just make life easy. Get out your plan book. Everybody get out your plan book, because I guarantee you don't know what tomorrow and Wednesday's homework is, because I have not posted it. You have a motorcycle? You sound like a motorcycle trying to get up a hill. For Tuesday, in case you ever steal my plan book, I go in order of my classes, so you guys are always on the left, then the other class for 7th grade, and then my 8th grade class is over there. Tuesday is 1.2.7
Double homework.
number 124 to 127. Wednesday, there's a lot going on Wednesday evening, is 1.2.8, 137 to 141. Be careful. Does your plan book go down or sideways? It goes down, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, good, because mine goes down too. Thursday is going to be the chapter 1 closure, but it's just going to be to finish. So we're going to start that in class. So you could be done with it in class, but then you can, like, if you're done with it in class, then you can just put a check mark there. And Friday is chapter 1 mastery, no new homework. So I would like you to write chapter 1 mastery, and then, sorry, that's like my own notes, like no new homework, because I want it in your plan book that we took the mastery that day. I don't even need to cover this up. I'm making sure, like, I'm listing the stuff we're going to cover. Perimeter and area is for sure on that mastery. If I continue to list this, simple probability will be on there. Equivalent fractions will be on there. Fraction addition will be on there. No, you don't have to write all that stuff, but like, so the reason I write that in my plan book is I'm still like tweaking your mastery. So I jot notes to myself to make sure that I have everything I want. So like, you can guarantee all that stuff's going to be on there. Now you have 5 minutes that you can work on your homework. So, wait, what? Sure, but so you don't have to write all this. All you need is chapter 1 mastery, no new homework. Oh, the other stuff? Yeah. So, up on the TV, you have your homework. 114 is literally just show the work to make this happen. So copy out what they have, fill it in. You don't have to use the giant 1. You can just show what fraction would be in the giant 1. By the way, some of you might care to put this in your planner. Wednesday is forum, like our parent forum. So first we have PTSA meeting, which we had talked a couple times about student reps for PTSA. And parent forum follows that. Parent forum is the place where like parents learn, well, the first one they learned about math. So this first one's pretty darn important because they don't really know about math yet. Yeah, a little bit, but they probably don't really know about it. They got an email, but that's about it. Also on Wednesday, there's Cards and Wolves football games going on. If anyone cares. Not Cards versus Wolves. Not the Cards versus Wolves. Just they both have a game. Cards. Hold up. Cards versus Wolves, if you want to know, is I think October 4th. If you care, October 4th is the Wotown Showdown for 8th grade football, and it's at Worthington Kilbourne. So it's on the turf under the lights. So we have 4 8th graders that'll be playing in that game. I will be there taking pictures. Yeah. So then, guys, last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to like shut off the recording and give you the last 4 or 5 minutes to work. On Friday, when we take the mastery, I got some people not listening. On Friday, when we take the mastery, I'll be collecting the rest of the chapter 1 homework. So 126, which was assigned Friday and today, 127, 128, and the closure. So we're going to work on closure in class. That's not really something you need to work ahead on. But if you're bored and you really want to, you can, and then you can like really help your group. Because a lot of what we're going to do on Thursday to prep and do the closure is like work with our group and then come all together as a class to ask questions or take care of those things. So if you want to work ahead, you can. Otherwise, just leave the closure and do that on Thursday. All right, spend your last 3-4 minutes working on homework, or if you're done, you can pack up or whatever.